Be me, Derek, 32, logistics guy, decent pay, zero glamour. Job is forklifts, schedules, delays, and bosses who only see numbers. Nothing heroic, but it pays the bills and then some. Married 5 years to my wife Sophia, 31, smart, funny, sharp. When we met, she had opinions and heat, and she laughed easily. I liked that she cared about things. Thought I found my person. Back then we'd argue, then laugh, then kiss. Fast forward to this year and the picture is completely different. I feel like I live with a stranger who grades my behavior. Everything I do is wrong or not enough or a sign. Not weekly. Every other night, sometimes nightly, there's a new lecture. It didn't flip overnight. It simmered for 2 slow years. I kept telling myself it was a phase and she'd calm down. 2 years later, I realized phase was just the new normal. Over those years, Sophia got deep into therapy influencer relationship discourse. Every week it was a new label, a new rule, a new healthy boundary. And somehow those boundaries only applied to me. I'm a simple guy. I move boxes for a living. I wanted a peaceful home. Instead, I got a constant performance conversation about wording things wrong. I tried to keep up because that's what you do. I read the links she sent at midnight. I watched the video essays in bed, volume low. I learned the vocabulary so I wouldn't step wrong again. I got good at apologizing, and it still didn't buy me peace. Either way, she had a label ready. I took on more chores until I was doing basically all of them. Cooking, cleaning, laundry, groceries, trash, little fixes around the place. If I did it, it was expected. If I missed it, it was a pattern. The physical side of our relationship changed too, quietly at first. It wasn't connection anymore. It was leverage. If I initiated, I was pushy. If I didn't, I was distant. Either way, she had a label ready. And I was exhausted from trying to say everything perfectly. She'd been on a clean eating kick lately. Not talking to me about it, posting it. Stories, captions, little rules for herself that somehow became rules for me. I'd see them after work, scrolling while eating dinner. Greens, macros, discipline, and a smug little wink emoji. The breaking point came on a Tuesday. Work was brutal. One truck broke down, shipment delayed, boss chewed me out. I drove home with that dull headache behind the eyes. All I wanted was food and silence. I stopped at the store anyway, trying to be thoughtful. I grabbed ingredients for her favorite meal from back when we were good. Pasta with a creamy mushroom sauce, the one she used to request. I spent an hour cooking like it mattered. Sautéed mushrooms, sauce from scratch, pasta al dente. I even lit 2 candles because I was still trying. She got home about 20 minutes after I finished. Walked in, saw the plate, and sighed like I was a disappointment. Not a normal sigh. A heavy one, like I'd failed a class. "You seriously made pasta," she said, like I did it to spite her. I blinked. "Yeah, it's your favorite." She didn't even look at me, already scrolling. "I told you I'm cutting carbs. I've been posting about it all week. Do you ever actually pay attention? Or do you just do stuff to feel like a good husband?" I didn't argue because it never stays about the pasta. I stood there holding a spatula covered in sauce. I genuinely didn't remember her telling me directly. She probably posted it, not to me. She made herself a sad salad with lettuce and cucumber. She ate it standing at the counter, phone in hand. My carefully made meal went cold on the table. I dumped the pasta into the trash and did the dishes. something inside me went quiet. Not rage, not tears, just done. Like my brain finally stopped trying to win her approval. I didn't even feel insulted anymore. I felt embarrassed that I still thought candles could fix anything. The next evening was the announcement. We were on the couch, TV on, her thumbs still scrolling. She put her phone down and turned with that calm, serious face. I braced automatically, like my body remembered the routine. "I've been thinking," she said, like she was about to announce a policy change at work, "and I need more control over intimacy." I waited, still. She took a breath like she'd rehearsed it. "From now on, intimacy is on a schedule," she said. "Once every 7 days." She watched my face like she was waiting for me to beg. "And it's conditional." "Conditional on what?" I asked. She didn't answer right away. She just stared like she liked having me on a leash. "On you behaving," she said. "On me feeling safe, seen, respected." Then she said it, clearer, uglier. "You have to earn it. If you want it, perform," she added, like it was normal to say out loud. She leaned back with a small, smug look. She expected a fight. She expected me to panic, argue, plead, negotiate. She expected me to hand her the steering wheel again. I just looked at her and felt tired in my bones. "Okay," I said. "Got it. That's it. No speech. No pushback." I picked up the remote and turned the volume up. I went back to watching the show. The silence beside me got thick. I could feel her staring, waiting for the next line. There wasn't one. I nodded and let it sit there between us like a bad smell. The first day of the new setup was Wednesday. I woke up at my usual time, 6:10, alarm buzzing once. Normally I made 2 coffees, one for me, one for her. I knew her order by muscle memory. That morning I made 1 cup for me. Dark roast, cheap coffee, nothing special. I drank it, got dressed, grabbed my keys. She was still in bed when I was leaving. I poked my head in and kept my voice neutral. "Have a good day." I didn't wait for a reply. I left. At work, I felt weirdly lighter, but not in a poetic way. I just wasn't rehearsing conversations in my head anymore. I moved pallets, solved problems, joked with the guys. For 8 hours, nobody graded my tone. When I got home, she was already on the couch. She looked up like she was collecting data. "How was your day?" she asked. It wasn't curiosity. It was a test I didn't know I signed up for. "Fine," I said. "Productive." I walked past her to the kitchen. I didn't ask about her day. I made myself a sandwich, just one. I ate, cleaned my plate, then went to the spare room. I put on my headset and played games with a buddy online. Nothing fancy, just a shooter and dumb jokes. Later I came out for water and she was still stewing. "So you're just not going to talk to me," she snapped. "I'm not sure what you mean," I said. "I'm relaxing after work. I don't want to intrude on your space. Boundaries, right?" She hated hearing her own words back. I slept on the couch that night. Not out of punishment. It was just quieter. Day 2 was the same structure. Less effort. Fewer words. I did my share of chores. Trash out, dishwasher emptied, surfaces wiped. I didn't do her laundry sitting in the hamper. I didn't refill her little stockpiles of favorite stuff. I bought groceries for myself. My food, my drinks, my boring lunch stuff. It sounds petty when you say it fast. It didn't feel petty in the moment. It felt like I stopped being her unpaid assistant. She started noticing fast. That evening, she opened the fridge and huffed. "There's no almond milk for my smoothie tomorrow," she said. "I noticed that," I said, not moving. "So you'll run out and grab it," she said, like she was assigning a task. "No," I said. "You can grab it if you need it." Her face did this little flicker, like the world glitched. She left a sticky note on the fridge that said accountability. No joke. All caps. It was the same handwriting she uses on grocery lists, which somehow made it worse. Later, she pointed at it and said, "See, this is what I mean." I just nodded like I'd seen it. Thursday. I almost made her coffee out of habit. Stopped halfway, stared at the second mug, felt stupid, poured my cup, put the pot back, and walked away. It wasn't revenge. It was me noticing how automatic I'd become. By the end of the week, the routine was set. Minimum talk, minimum service, maximum politeness. She tried different angles, and I kept the same response. Not cruel, not warm, just flat. She told Luna on speakerphone that I was going through something. Right in the living room, like I wasn't there. Then she looked at me and said, "Don't make it weird." I didn't say a word. I just walked to the spare room and closed the door. The weekend was the real test. Saturday used to be our day. Errands together, a walk, maybe a meal, small couple stuff. I woke up early and went to the gym. A thing I used to do before I met her. I'd stopped because she said it took up too much time. I came back, showered, and started getting ready to leave. "Where are you going?" she asked from the doorway. "Lunch with Mark," I said, tying my shoes. Mark's a blunt friend from work, the kind you can breathe around. She stared like I'd violated a rule she hadn't written yet. "You didn't ask me if I wanted to do something," she said. Accusation, not question. "I assumed you had your own plans," I said. "I'm trying to be less presumptive about your time." I wasn't trying to punish her. I just wanted one day where my words didn't get graded. She opened her mouth, then closed it again. Because my answer used her logic, clean and polite. I left. I had a great day. We talked about sports, work, dumb stuff, no labels. Mark asked how things were at home. I kept it vague, but I told him about the 7-day thing. He just said, "Dude, sounds like she thinks she's your boss." Then he added, "Don't work for free." When I got home that evening, the place was spotless. She deep cleaned like she was trying to reset reality. She'd cooked a big, elaborate dinner, too, like she was proving a point. "I thought we could have a nice dinner," she said, smiling tight. "Looks great," I said, "but I already ate with Mark." Her smile twitched hard. I didn't gloat. I didn't tease. I just stood there and felt nothing. I grabbed a bottle of water and went to the spare room. Sunday, she tried bait, loud laughing at her laptop, hoping I'd ask why, then gossip about Luna's drama, hoping I'd engage. I gave a grunt and kept typing. Finally, she snapped her laptop shut. "Can you please stop this?" she said. "Stop what?" I asked. "This robot thing," she said. "I'm trying to connect with you." I turned to face her, calm but not theatrical. "I'm just following what you set," I said. "You wanted rules, so I'm doing rules." She threw her hands up and stormed off. The silence after she left was comfortable. Monday, day 6, the vibe was awful. She radiated misery in the way only a controlling person can. She tried a half apology near the door while I grabbed my keys. "Maybe I was a little harsh," she said. "It's fine," I said. She stepped closer, voice softer. We should talk about the whole 7-day thing. She wasn't offering because she cared. She was offering because it wasn't working. The rule is fine, Sophia, I told her. It's clear. I appreciate knowing the expectations. I watched her flinch at that. Then I left for work. Tuesday morning, day 7, Judgment Day. I woke up on the couch again because it was easier. I did my routine, simple breakfast, no ceremony. She walked into the kitchen wearing one of my old shirts. A calculated little nostalgia move. "Morning," she said, too cheerful. "Morning," I replied, not looking up. That evening I came home and the apartment was immaculate again. Candles lit, soft music, smell of something good from the kitchen. She came out wearing a dress I hadn't seen in a long time. Hair done, makeup done, the full performance. "Hey you," she said, smiling. "I'm making that chicken dish you like." "Okay," I said, and sat on the couch. I picked up a magazine and flipped pages slowly. She made noise in the kitchen on purpose. I didn't react. We ate dinner at the table. Food was good, I said so. She asked questions about my day, my plans, my gym schedule. I answered short and polite. No warmth, no anger, just civility. After dinner, we ended up on the couch. Music still playing. Mood thick enough to be uncomfortable. She slid closer. "So," she said, low voice. "It's Tuesday." "It is," I said. She put a hand on my knee. "The end of the 7 days." "Yep." She took a deep breath, ready to speak like a supervisor. "I think you did well this week," she said. "You've been thoughtful. You've respected my space." Then she leaned closer. "I've decided you've earned it," she whispered. I gently took her hand off my knee. I set it down on the cushion between us. "Thanks for the review," I said, calm. "But I'm not interested." Her face went blank for a second, like she lost the script. "What?" she said. "What do you mean?" "I mean what I said," I replied. "I'm not interested in being intimate with you." She blinked hard. "But I said you earned it," she whispered, confused and angry. I didn't argue. I didn't explain. I just stood up. I didn't feel powerful. I just felt empty. That was the truth, and it scared her more than anger. She tried panic next. "Derek, wait," she said, voice cracking. "Don't do this." "Do what?" I asked. "I'm going to sleep." "In the spare room?" she asked, small voice. "Yeah," I said. "Bed's probably better for my back." I walked to the spare room and closed the door. I heard her cry on the other side. Not loud, not performative. Quiet sobbing, like she finally felt the loss. I slept in a real bed and slept better than I had in years. The next morning, she looked wrecked at the kitchen table. Red eyes, puffy face, no confidence left. "We need to talk," she said. I poured coffee and didn't rush anything. "Okay," I said. "I want to take it back," she said fast. "The rule, the 7-day thing, all of it." "It was stupid," she said fast. "I didn't mean it like that." "I'm sorry," she added, watching my face like it was a scoreboard. "It's not about the rule," I said. She looked confused, like she hated that answer. "Of course it is," she said. "I was controlling. I pushed you away." "You see that it didn't work," I said. "That's different." I kept it simple. "You don't see me as a partner," I said. "You see me as something to manage." She started crying again and reached for "We can fix it." I shook my head. "No, we can't," I said. "You showed me how you see me. And I believe you. The man who tried to earn peace with candles and pasta was gone." "So what now?" she asked, voice thin. "Do you want a divorce?" I thought about lawyers, money, and months of chaos. I didn't have the energy for a war yet. "Not right now," I said. Her face tightened like she wanted a different answer. "Then what are we?" she asked. "Roommates," I said. "We split bills. We're civil. It's simple." She stared like I'd slapped her with math. The weeks after were strange. I moved my stuff into the spare room permanently. It became my space, my quiet, my reset. We barely spoke. Polite hello. Good night. Nothing else. She tried at first. She'd cook dinner and invite me to eat. I'd politely decline, saying I already ate or had plans. She'd suggest a movie. I'd say I had work or a book. Every attempt hit the same wall. I wasn't being cruel. I wasn't doing a dramatic silent treatment. I was treating her like a person I lived with, not the center of my universe. And with the energy I stopped spending on her moods, I had some left. I went to the gym consistently. I dropped weight, got stronger, slept better. I reconnected with friends she used to complain about. I worked on my car again. Life started happening outside the apartment. Sophia, on the other hand, started shrinking. She was the one on edge now. She watched me like she was waiting for the old me to return. Any reaction, any sign she still controlled the weather. I overheard her on the phone with Luna one night. She wasn't whispering. She was crying in the living room, loud enough to be heard. I caught bits of Luna's side, sharp and tired. "What did you expect? You can't treat someone like staff and then be shocked." That one hit her like a brick, I could tell. Even her echo stopped echoing. The final nail came about 2 months later. Saturday morning, I was packing for a camping trip with Mark. Bag by the door, keys in my hand, boots on. She stood there watching me, smaller than I'd ever seen her. "You seem happy," she said. "No accusation, just sadness." "I am," I said. "I miss you," she whispered. "I miss my husband." I looked at her and felt a dull ache, not love, just memory. "I miss him too," I said. "You broke him." "I've been building something new from the pieces." I opened the door. "Have a good weekend, Sophia," I said. Then I left. We still lived in the same place for a while. Lease had months left. But I wasn't her husband anymore. I was the guy who paid half the rent. She wanted rules and control. She got a relationship built out of rules and control. And I learned something simple. Because when someone builds you a cage, the smartest move is noticing the door. You notice the door, and you leave.